Hi, everybody.
Hey,
Welcome to the show. What do you think of that? Sorry, you didn't.
what?
You're. If people watching don't know what just happened, but
I've been
Dana,
fussing at Steve because
Dana was
like I
fussing
was
at me.
because we didn't start like right as soon as I got here. Oh no.
Well,
I'm wearing my sparklies. Woo!
nice,
Well, like it's
nice.
kind of cold down here. So like I was like, I want to wear something warm. So I have my nice warm long sleeve shirt on and it's black and gray. And I'm wearing my black jeans and it's nice and warm. And I'm like, you know what? I need a little bit of color. So I put on my pink sparklies. See?
A
But they
little
have they have
pop.
black in them. They have black in them too. So it still goes with the vibe. I'm
It suits the ensemble.
I know this is as coordinated as I get, you guys. Hey
you
everybody.
you've got you've
Oh, I feel so loved.
everybody loves you.
Oh, that's because I don't assign these guys any homework. Well,
Oh,
and no,
well,
I don't assign these guys
you don't
any work.
assign your kids
Period.
homework either, do you?
I don't
Yeah.
assign my students homework this semester. I used to, but apparently it is not the way things are done during a pandemic. I have been informed of this.
Yes,
Officially.
You have been corrected in your
I have been
mistake.
taught the error of my ways.
Yeah.
It was a learning opportunity for me.
Because even as a teacher, you
Oh,
were
Radical
also
Bacon, I'm
always a
waiting
student.
on pizza. Yes, we are encouraging our students and modeling being lifelong learners.
There you go.
Like I'm going to learn about deep space.
Yes,
and
you are.
and Space Dad and possibly Space Kid and
All kinds of space people.
all kinds of space stuff.
All kinds of Dana, there are so many space people in this episode we're about to
Oh
watch.
my.
It will blow your mind. You will be
You're
watching.
setting the bar kind of high here. I'm just saying.
You will be watching this episode, and at some point, I predict you will exclaim either silently within yourself or outwardly so that we can hear it. Wow, that's a lot of space people.
I will be. Oh, no Space Kid this
No,
episode.
I believe Garrett is correct. And yeah. I don't think
which
Jake
means there's no space school either.
No, there's not. I think you might be safe from space school until the last episode of the season. The last episode of the season is the space school has a very, very prominent part in it, but I don't think we see the space school until then. But I might be wrong, so don't hold me to that. But I think you have several more episodes before we see space school again. So
gorgonzola pizza.
Ooh, delish.
Like my mouth is literally watering.
Yeah, it's for real. So, are you
I
ready
am
to
so
jump
ready.
into this episode? And you cycled it so that it's ready.
It's all good. It's all. I just have to.
Awesome. Okay, so everybody, hopefully by now you have it queued up on your end. If you're watching it on Paramount Plus or Netflix or on DVD or wherever you have it, queue up the episode Battle Lines, episode 12 of season 1 of Deep Space Nine. We're starting at 0. And as always, I will count us in from 3. I'll give us a 3, 2, 1 play, and we'll all hit play when I say play. And
when
we'll
you
watch,
say play.
when I say play.
Oh.
When I say, because
you are the Roger Patel.
So it's my say. It's on my go. So.
All right. I'm waiting.
Ready? Okay.
I'm ready and waiting.
Well, pardon me. Okay, everybody get ready. And we're going to play in 3. Wait a minute. Okay, sorry. Now we're doing it for real.
Are you sure this time?
I had to get everything lined up so I can start my on-screen time code and stuff at the right time too. Okay, here we go. For real this time. In 3. 3, 2, 1, play.
255 AD, no. Because they're all having the same disadvantages, so like, or similar disadvantages, so they're not any more disadvantaged from their peer groups.
By the way, no exterior establishing shot this time.
That's right. We don't get the beauty shot.
No.
Oh.
How do I even know where this is taking place?
Oh, awkward. Well, because Space Dad's right there.
Are they even in space?
Yes.
Is this even
You could
Star
you could
Trek?
see the
Oh,
pajamas.
that's the pajamas and the stars out the window. Yeah. Okay, so they have discovered
Also, they had the little they have the little pointy thing.
yeah, the badge, the comm badge. So
Right.
they've
That.
discovered old Cardassian personnel files,
Uh-huh.
and that's what Kira is looking at.
She's like, I'm a big girl.
Yeah, yeah. Like, what's the big deal?
I think you better get down here. I'm not going to tell you what it is. What's the problem? Let's have some expository dialogue.
The Kai is here.
Dun dun dun.
Well, I was kidding about that. I love oh, I love her absolutely appalled. You know, the way she's like like, are you serious with this shit?
They're only offering a $50,000 reward for my capture? What?
Dead or alive? What the
They always get my nose wrong.
Which is a big deal for a Bajoran. Thanks for making me take the steps. Appreciated that.
It's got steps. You have to get your steps in.
That's it. The Kai has to get her steps in. Hello, Opaka? Anybody home?
Apparently not.
So you should just go back to Bajor.
Significant look.
Yeah. I think maybe there is something scheduled for today, though. The Kai is such a baller. She's like, I think we are.
Excuse you.
It's a slow day, Bashir said. The doctor on the space station said, it's a slow day. I can leave. I can go on the shuttle with the Kai.
Yeah, but she's not anymore. 255 ADS. I mean, so I think it's based on past tense. Like these are old files. So, I mean, if they'd found out about her, she would hope that she was a bigger deal. I'm guessing.
Yeah, I think the idea is that she feels demeaned for her role in the resistance. I mean, she'd rather be remembered as like, you know.
I want to do the thing. I want to do the thing. Lots of pregnant pauses.
Yeah. Cool, thanks. Cisco's like, whatever, dude. This doesn't really suit my style, but thank you.
Well, it's not for him, is it?
I guess. I don't know. Boy, by the way, O'Brien gonna be real happy he didn't go along on this trip. No spoilers, but O'Brien's gonna be real happy he didn't go along on this trip. Now,
well, stop half telling me things.
Sorry. Gosh. Well, now let's all just relax and meditate for a minute as we enjoy the soothing sounds of the opening credits. Allow the peace of space to wash over you.
The dots. So many dots.
The little white dots.
Oh, look. Space. There it is. Beauty shot. We didn't get it at the beginning.
Yeah, just to remind us. Right. It's in space. Right. Got it.
Oh, there we are. We're in space.
It's space.
The sparkle opening.
John Gingras in the chat. Thanks, Opaka, but this is a choking hazard. I think I'll wait until Molly's older to give it to her. Here, take this dangly sharp thing and give it to your child.
How old is she at this point?
She's pretty young. Molly's pretty young. Yeah. we haven't really gotten a good look at her yet, but there's an episode coming up that we get a good look at Molly. She's, I don't know, maybe 2 or 3.
Oh golly,
It's hard. It's
keep
hard.
that away from her.
Yeah, it's hard to tell, and it's because Star Trek, not as bad as some other shows, but Star Trek does kind of suffer from the soap opera syndrome, where it's like, you know, a child is born and then a year later they're suddenly like 5 years
A
old.
toddler.
It's like, what the hell? What happened here? But you know. David C. Drake with the Khan quote.
Wait. Her name is seriously Nana Visitor?
Nana, yeah, that's her. That's the actor who plays Kira. Yeah, Nana Visitor.
I did not like.
Yeah.
I seriously thought they were talking about the Opaka being like a visitor who's somewhat grandmotherly.
Yeah, no,
Nana did not know that.
Yeah,
they have some really interesting, like their real names are like. Well, Paul Collins is ordinary, but I mean, wow. Okay.
Yeah. Nana Visitor is that's Kira.
That's the person's name. Okay.
That's Kira. Yeah.
Didn't know that.
Yeah.
I've learned. Okay, I can turn my brain off. I've learned something. Today.
You've learned. You don't have to pay attention to any more of this shit.
Well, I hope he wasn't as much of a jerk in real life. I mean,
he couldn't possibly have been.
Oh, he could.
I don't know what he was like back then when this was filmed, but nowadays he seems like a pretty great guy. So, I mean,
okay, well,
I'm
good.
not sure. Yeah. Remember that for the next series.
Oh, my pizza's not here yet.
Jealous. I hope I'm not teasing you too much by eating my pizza before yours gets here.
Oh, don't talk to the prophet that way. There's not much else to show you. The prophecy person. I don't understand Opaka. No, that your job is not to understand.
So this was a fun little trip.
See, you can see her in the back, the Opaka. She's like,
I told you. Let me tell you, motherfuckers, something. I have a death wish.
Yay! Besides, what kind of fiction would it be if, like, okay, there might be something interesting going on? Let's not do that.
Let's go home.
That's what you do in real life. It's like avoid interesting things. Just like keep it boring, pay your bills on time, fix healthy food, exercise, all that, mow your lawn. Hey, Azalea, are we in the wormhole?
Other side of the wormhole.
Okay, they're on the other side of the wormhole, Azalea.
The Gamma Quadrant.
In the Gamma Quadrant, apparently.
Indeed.
Dun, dun, dun.
Man, why satellites always got to be scanning stuff?
Uh-oh.
You gotta watch those massive energy buildings.
Gotta watch those megawatts.
1.21 megawatts.
Gigawatts, excuse you.
I know. I was making it fit.
So it's only megawatts here. I don't know why they're throwing such a fit.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, control those attitudes.
Yeah, fix your attitude.
Opaka's having a great time. Look at that.
Yeah.
She's like,
She's like, oh boy, we're all gonna die. I'm gonna get to meet the prophets today after all. Uh-oh.
Don't open the door. Is there air? You don't know.
You don't know. Good
Seems
thing.
okay to me.
Good thing this rocky, barren asteroid has a breathable atmosphere. It's all right. I'm fine. Oh, the rest of you. Sure, come on out.
Well, 2 of them so far are mobile, and it's flickering inside. Uh-oh.
Yeah, try to move her back and neck as much as possible. You're just crushing those vertebrae even more.
You're the doctor.
I love how he pieces out immediately. He's like, oh, she's dead. I'm out of here.
Aw.
Three, two, one, pause. So we're paused at 32:54 remaining on Netflix.
I don't think Norman, I don't think that's entirely fair to her because I mean, when things started going haywire, yes, she was trying to, give readouts, and she was repeating the computer. But,
I have one job.
Informing, they all have different control panels, and she's letting the others know what her control panels are saying. So there's that. And but when things start going bad, she or when the Opaka is talking about, well, let's do this thing, and they're just like, we're not entirely sure about this. She doesn't. It's not written that she shows concern or worry about this. I mean, she does say this may not be safe, but I mean, it just seems sort of a generalized, like it doesn't. It's not written consistently. I feel like she's doing the best she can with what she, what was in the script and how she was directed.
Yeah. I actually don't think that was that bad of a moment. I mean,
I don't either, but it's not like I was like, oh, wow, she's really taking it harder than I anticipated, given her previous being like, okay, I guess we'll do this thing. You don't see her looking over her shoulder and kind of peeking back. Are you okay with this? What's
well, but I mean, you have to sort of think about it in terms of, I mean, like it would be like a Catholic, like being there when the Pope died, and like unexpectedly, like even if you're not like a super observant Catholic and you're like, well, the Pope, whatever, like if you're in a car accident with the Pope and you were just like going out for a joyride. And then the Pope is dead, like they're on the street in front of you. Like, you might be a little upset about it.
I guess maybe, but
not me. I mean, I think it was,
more that I don't think that Catholics venerate the Pope in that same sort of way, that have that sort of personal.
But it's that kind of thing. It's like, it's not just that she, it's what the Kai represent. And also, I mean, the Kai, I think that they haven't, they talked about it a little bit in the pilot episode, and I think they talk about it a little bit in this episode as it goes forward as well. Like this particular Kai, Opaka is like revered among the Bajarans because she was the Kai
Mhm.
for the last section of the occupation, and she, like, I mean, even more so than other people who have held that office, like she is a symbol of hope and of strength for the Bajaran people. So for her to die, especially like this,
Mhm.
you know,
Yeah.
that's I mean, I don't I don't blame her for taking it really hard,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah. My point was not that,
Yeah.
it was bad for her to do that, more that, that particular analogy had some weak spots. Starfleet interior 255 AD. There was the was it the Pointer? No, that's the name of a band. The something sisters, where it was Goldie Hawn and Diane Keaton.
Yes. Oh fuck, what was the name of that movie? I can't think, but
And
I know exactly what movie you mean.
the
The Banger
255 ADs,
Sisters. The Banger
Banger
Sisters.
Sisters. And Goldie Hawn shows up and decides, that she's the sister who didn't settle down, lived wild. And I think it's Diane Keaton. Maybe it's Susan Sarandon. It's Susan Sarandon, isn't it?
Yeah. It's yeah.
Okay, Susan Sarandon. You can tell because she's not wearing turtlenecks all the time.
That's true. Oh, that's not Diane Keaton. Where's the turtleneck? That's
And
oh,
so
that's funny.
anyway, she decides that she like gets her hair chopped in this rockin' hairstyle, and they're gonna go out on the town. And she goes into her closet, and then she turns to her sister and says, "Everything I own is beige."
And that is the Starfleet design aesthetic.
Exactly.
See,
But sometimes it's not. Sometimes it's gray.
I think that's a fair criticism, and it's one of the things that I appreciate the most about the look of Deep Space Nine, because the premise of the show creates an excuse for us to see all kinds of environments that are not Starfleet environments, like the space station, which was originally Cardassian. And so it just looks different than like the Enterprise on TNG, right? And it
Hmm.
also looks different than Voyager on Voyager. And yeah, like I think one of the things that really makes Voyager suffer as a show compared to Deep Space Nine is that it does have that sense of aesthetic sameness. Like everybody dresses the same. The ship looks the ship in Voyager is even more generic looking than the Enterprise is in TNG, and it's like that's just what you see every single episode. And at least in Deep Space Nine, you have some difference, some contrast. Not everybody's dressed the same, not all of the locations look the same. And I think it definitely helps the show.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Yeah. But yeah, so things aren't looking too good for our
the dead
heroes.
person.
For things are really not looking good for the Kai. What with her being dead and all. So yeah,
So
any
so is this why we were glad that Miles didn't come,
I
because
was
he would have gotten he was been the one
because
gotten dead?
Miles, yeah, there would have been two people dragged out of that runabout if Miles had come. Actually, no, Miles would have survived because you need to have him have like a broken leg or something, or a
Something to
shat
suffer.
like he has a shattered spine, but it doesn't kill him, so he's like just in pain for the whole episode. That's the O'Brien. That's what would have happened. O'Brien probably
I'll
is.
take.
O'Brien's going to read these mission reports and be like, "Oh, thank Christ! So glad I didn't come along."
Apparently, this is a thing that I haven't gotten to see yet.
It hasn't really kicked in yet, but yeah,
But it's going to be a thing.
O'Brien must suffer is a very, very commonly recurring trope in Deep Space Nine.
I feel like I recognize those fiberglass rocks, those particular fiberglass rocks. Yeah, I got nothing.
They probably have reused the set before. I'm not sure what. I'm
I
not
mean,
sure.
hey,
I'm
they're rocks,
I'm not sure what soundstage this episode was shot. What soundstage they used for that set, but I can't remember the number of it. But people who are like long time,
Nerd.
well, no, but like people who are long time who are like fans of TNG know that there was a particular soundstage that TNG used, and I don't know if DS9 used it as well, but and the cast called it Planet Hell because that was always the soundstage they used for like the alien planet surface. And they all kind of, it looked a little different, but it was mostly like, oh, it's it's sandy with rocks and like a weird color sky, and maybe there's a cave, but that was like, so I don't know if this was a planet Hell said or not, but
Nerd.
yeah, okay.
Own it, man. Just
I
you're a
am.
nerd.
Hey,
And
hey.
it's okay. It's okay.
So
Doll nerd.
yeah. Huh? What?
Doll nerd.
Doll nerd. Yes, exactly. Yeah. I have a small army of Star Trek dolls. So it's just a small army. A small army.
Just a small army. Not going to take over the world. Just
no.
maybe a county or two.
They could, they'll occupy a small section of territory.
Yeah. You should send them to Portland.
I think they could do a lot better than the people that are actually there, because they'll have phasers and
Yeah. They could change the settings.
Yeah, exactly. Vaporize a couple of cops. They'll leave you the fuck alone. That's the only language they understand. Anyway.
All righty.
So yes, shall we?
Thank you, some random geek. Look at that. 3253. He says.
Yes, that's about right. So, shall we?
I'm waiting on your count, dude.
Oh, well, I didn't want to talk over you. Okay. Everybody get ready. We're going to get back into the episode. I'll count us in. Here we go. 3, 2, 1, play.
Oh, see.
They waited for the second act to give us our beauty shot.
Messing with the system. They're playing with viewer expectations.
Exactly.
I have pizza.
Woohoo!
Well, maybe it's not good enough. Sorry, it doesn't work this time.
Everybody else is gone and O'Brien's in charge, and it's just gone right to his head. You can tell.
It's like one of my favorite demotivators, failure. When your best just isn't good enough.
That's what I just said. It's just my bones and organs.
I didn't notice this beforehand.
I'm not faking, I swear.
Exactly, Chris Kingle. She's a Bajoran. I'm the commander.
I'm the HMFIC, the head motherfucker in charge. Yes, Azalea Jane, that is Jonathan Banks as Shala. Bashir is just like, give me it.
Do you even know what you're doing?
Oh, they seem nice.
Pizza.
Yes.
It's Australia, and Australia, as we know, is entirely peopled by criminals.
Exactly. Even to this very day.
And criminals are used to not being trusted, so I can clearly not choose the wine in front of you. Or me. I don't remember.
Either
Me,
one.
I think. Yeah, as the case was. Don't trust any of it. Well, what if I don't want to help you? Ooh.
You look like you could use a drink. You okay?
Aw, some random geek. You're so sweet.
Now she's worm food.
Well, you know, everybody dies. Sooner or later.
Yep. Usually.
Want a tulip?
That's a good point by Garrett in the chat. A lot of union activists were sent to the penal colonies in Australia. Now Australia has stronger unions than Britain. Go figure.
As opposed to, you know, a fun war.
I bet you'd really like that, wouldn't you, Julian? You'd love to train some people in the basics of field triage, wouldn't you?
You'd love to tell other people what to do. Show them what you know. People exclaiming, people yelling. They're not the same thing, folks.
But both are happening. Yeah, shoot them up. Oh, yeah.
Fighting.
Stunts.
Blah, blah, blah.
Kira's like, I just had to get that out of my system. Sorry.
Random geek, yeah, but I don't see. I see Bashir as the difference between charity and mutual aid. You know,
a harsh indictment of Bashir. Oh,
it's season 1. Dun dun dun. John Gingras, there's always
3, 2, 1, pause.
Okay, where are you at?
I'm at 26:16 to go.
Okay, perfect. That's where I'm at.
So awesome.
John Gingras, there's always somebody needs some killing.
And by the way, I very much appreciate the Major Payne reference. There's got to be somebody needs some killing.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry, Payne. You've killed them all.
Dun dun dun.
So
Chris Kringle, yes.
That's good.
Would not have expected that. That would have been a surprise.
So yeah, I bet you didn't see this coming. It's a zombie episode.
Not necessarily. I mean, she could be a lich.
Yeah, John Gingrich is ahead of me. Opaka brains.
Caitlin L., that is very responsible of you. Good for you. Oh, salami and pepperoni. Nice.
Yummy. Karosh, if you're asking which episode we're watching, we are watching
Battle Lines.
Battle Lines, episode 12 of season 1. And also, it is in the title of the live stream. Just saying.
Oh yeah, there's that. But well, maybe Karash was just so excited to join us that they weren't paying attention to that.
And Radical Bacon, we did pause. Sorry if you missed it. We paused and we're at
26:16 left.
26:16 left on Netflix. So
dun.
Sorry about that.
Well, I don't think that that may be an unpopular opinion on us, Rashid, but I mean, a little annoying. I don't think that's really, that bad.
I
But
no,
I'm
and I
I'm
mean,
curious. I don't, I don't find amusing, I think, for me. Now, in fairness, I'm also not watching this like, I'm not binge watching it, and I'm not watching it like every week. So it's, she was in the pilot,
she was in the pilot, and then this is
and
the
I don't think
second
we've
time
seen
we've
her
seen.
since. Yeah. So
No,
it's been a
yeah,
while because we're
yeah,
doing this every other week. So, you know,
yeah, yeah. I mean, I don't really find her annoying.
she's a little amusing in the the whole pregnant pause thing.
Yeah,
She's going a little bit for silent Bob, except not being silent.
yeah. Well, I'm kind of with Garrett saying I find her kind of adorable. Like I mean, part of it is this is still early in the show, and
Mhm.
she does seem strangely naive. I mean, I know that she's like, well, she's a spiritual leader and she's busy and she's involved in the church and taking care of people on Bajor and she doesn't leave the planet that often. But still, like when we meet some of the other people in her religious order, like coming up later in the season, when we meet like Vedics, who are like that's the Bajaran word for the priests. They're called Vedics, and when we meet like other Vedics, none of them seem nearly as like wide-eyed and like ooh a space station, ooh a wormhole. Like they're not they're a lot more sort of savvy than
Yeah, but she
Opaka
doesn't seem.
seems.
She doesn't. No, she doesn't seem like she goes and she knows that that's where the wormhole is, even though it's not there. She looks out that
That's
window,
all
and they're
that. No,
like,
you're right. She
yeah,
knew exactly
they're
where to
like,
go.
oh, it's this. What a coincidence that no, that's not a coincidence. I don't think there's any naivete. I think that's part of why she's more revered than the Pope would
Mhm.
be,
Yeah,
because she isn't just a spiritual leader. She's not just, some sign of hope. It's that she has some kind of connection to something more than most people can
yeah.
figure out. So 255 AD, as far as guessing what's going on, there's not, it's only the second time we've seen her, so not a whole lot to go on. I don't know. She, plus, okay, so we're, Bashir presumably knows what he's doing. He's worked with Bajorans before. He
You
can
would think.
identify a dead Bajoran. I mean,
I know a dead Bajoran when I see one.
even a psychiatrist can tell the difference between a patient who is alive and one who is dead. And just external references all.
By the way,
BBC Drake, absolutely. Or not one that people have venerated him
yeah.
for in the same way.
And speaking of the Pope, I just want to point out Loretta Reyes asks, wasn't Jesus the first Pope? According to church tradition, Peter was the first
No,
Pope.
yes.
Peter was the first Pope.
Yep, upon this rock I shall build my church.
Yep.
That whole thing, so.
But yeah, in terms of like, Opaka having a spiritual connection that the Pope doesn't have, I mean, she also has the advantage of like, and this is one of the things that people point out as how like the religious allegory in Deep Space Nine isn't, I mean, I think it's one of the better parts of the show, but it's not perfect because the prophets that the Bajarans worship are like they can be objectively proven to exist. Like it's not a matter of faith whether the prophets are there or not. They're there. Like you go into the wormhole, you open an orb, the prophets are there. Like it's verifiable. It's
Yeah, but at the
so.
same time, just because it's verifiable doesn't mean they're worthy of worship.
Oh no, that's true. But I mean, we could the discussion of whether or not God is worthy of worship is a
It's
separate
a different
discussion.
discussion.
Yeah,
Yes.
from whether or not God exists. Like the Bajorans know that their gods exist.
Yeah. And I think yeah, I mean, different religions, as far as how you define God, I mean, that plays a lot into, whether or not that sort of God exists. So, well, there were some questions here. Why did the Cardassians let the Bajorans' religious institutions continue to exist? Well, I don't know. I mean, the Bajorans were already rebelling, so it's not to prevent them from like openly rebelling. So I don't know. Or
I,
maybe
I,
they tried to squelch it and just couldn't. IDK. I don't know enough about the series.
I think it's implied at certain points that the Cardassians co-opted certain aspects of it, that they sort of that there were collaborators within the church, and that the church was sort of leveraged by the Cardassians to keep the populace under control. And that sort of becomes and also, I mean, I'm pretty sure like Opaka, I think, was in hiding for most of it. Like the sort of non-corrupted,
Yeah.
wing of the church that the people, gathered around after the occupation was over, was sort of, underground. So I
So
mean,
kind of the Rome thing.
yeah, yeah. I mean, I'm sure the Cardassians, if they could have, they would have crushed it, or taken it completely under their control. And I think there's hints that they tried to do that, but they just didn't succeed.
Caitlin L says later on it said anyone caught practicing the faith could be imprisoned or sentenced to death. So evidently they tried to stamp it out. IDK again.
And honestly, as a lot of people who watch my Star Trek videos know, and as you know, Dana, because we talk about this stuff, like whatever the episode I'm watching says is what I go by. Like, so I mean, it's so if we're watching an episode in a few weeks and it mentions that, oh, actually the Vedic Assembly was totally in on it with the Cardassians. I mean, or whatever, or they were in hiding for 40 years, and I mean, whatever the episode says is what I accept, because it's made up. And
Steve,
it's it's a made
shut it.
It's a
Shut
made
it.
up show.
Shut it. Shut it. Shut it. Stop.
It's imaginary.
Stop.
It's an imagine.
Stop. Shame on you.
I'm sorry.
You're a bad nerd.
I'm sorry. It's just, it's not, it's,
Stop.
I'm sorry.
Sorry implies there's a desire to change.
There's
and
not.
I don't, there's not.
You're right.
So
you've got me.
So just, see, look at that. You're making people feel bad.
I just watched an episode of Mystery Science Theater today. Okay. I heard that theme song today. Just repeat to yourself, it's just a show. I should really just relax. That is my mantra as a fan.
You are hurting people.
And by the way, I want to point out that a couple people are referencing a much later episode of DS9 with, it's real. But I want to point out Corey making a wrestling reference by saying, it's still real to me, damn it. So much respect to Corey. I know 255 AD, continuity between episodes in Deep Space Nine is actually one of the things that I think raises it above a lot of the rest of the franchise. I love the fact that there was continuity between episodes. And it's not that stuff isn't important. It's just that I don't get twisted in knots about it if there's certain things that don't match up. I mean, if you watch Deep Space Nine carefully enough and you go through it with a fine-tooth comb, even though it was a lot better at sort of, multi-episode arcs, especially in terms of character development. I mean, it eventually was really good at that. But you can still, yeah. I mean, yeah, it's sort of setting up the blocks now, but it doesn't really, take off until a little bit later. But I mean, you can find inconsistencies. You can find things that don't make sense. Like, I think there's it's mostly just like backstory stuff. Like, at one point, O'Brien tells us one thing about his parents that is contradicted by something else about his parents. And I think there's something else, like Cisco says something about his father that at least strongly implies that his father is dead. But then later in the series, it turns out his father is alive and he becomes a recurring character. So, but that kind of stuff doesn't bother me.
You seem a non-bothery kind of person in general, Steve.
About TV shows, I mean,
Mm-hmm. Or like this, same actor playing several different characters.
Yeah, well, but that's like common in almost any show.
You just use your imagination.
Yeah.
And they have different costumes.
Exactly.
Ta-da!
Exactly. And also different actors playing the same character, which happens a couple times in Deep Space Nine. I
will never forgive Aunt Viv.
Yeah,
that was not cool.
Well, because she left the show under bad circumstances. It wasn't just she didn't want to do it anymore, and they had to recast her. Like, that was a bad situation.
All around.
All around, yeah.
So, all righty.
Okay. Okay. Ready?
I'm ready. I'm waiting on you.
As always.
As usual. Except when I am driving home and about to, hop online.
Then I'm waiting for you. Okay. Ready?
Uh-huh.
I'm going to count us in from 3. Here we go. 3, 2, 1, play.
But Charles Chapman, gatekeeping and exclusion can be fun. I'm kidding. I'm totally kidding.
It depends what side of the gate you're on. You were pulled from the wreckage of your silent reverie. Come on, give it up. Give it up for that. Come on, give it up for that.
Oh. Yeah, Caitlin, I'm with you. 100%. Yep, some random geek. Yeah. But I know it's been radically altered. $255 AD, that's called sleep, honey.
Go deaf after too much wine.
Well, it's not functional, so suck it up.
Yeah, we all got problems. Oh, we're on the Lazarus planet. Cool. Look, everybody.
Richard Moore.
that is a quality pun.
Oh, there's the dots. It's like, where'd your dots go? She doesn't have any in the middle. Just like I was like, is that hair or is that dots? That should be dots. Is it dots?
They forgot to put her dots on. That's embarrassing.
Yeah, 255 AD. Yeah. But of course, we can't have parity or even a God forbid a majority of the alien fighters.
Just a couple women. Just a couple women. Not too many. Let's not get carried away.
Let's make sure they're tokenized. Oh, poor Q.
That is such a good episode, too. That's one of my favorite TNG episodes.
How do you humans handle that? It's so nice. It's different. Don't you get tired of things being the same all the time? Yeah, Loretta, exactly.
I don't remember.
The Ennis and the no Ennis. Yeesh.
Really hurt yourselves coming up with those names, didn't you, fellas? Garrett, the Ennis and the Garth Ennis. Nice.
Golf clap. Ah, Kira. I have to button in.
You come here, you tell us our business. You make me sick.
But it could be.
It's a random geek.
I'm gonna be more, okay?
I was considered a minor operative.
I will change that. Oh, foreshadowing much? Chris Kringle, they said earlier to serve as an example for the rest of their society.
Yeah.
Richard Moore.
Yes, exactly.
Oh.
The dress is blue. The dress is gold. Fuck you. Norman, I think he kind of is breaking the Prime Directive. But, I mean, what choice does he have? They're stuck on this planet. I mean...
Dun, dun, dun.
All right, let it keep playing through this break.
Caitlin and Joy.
Yes. Oh, come on. Where's that trademark O'Brien optimism?
Oh. Can't trust the scans? What can you trust? Jeez.
Yeah, why even bring the scanner along?
So that we can tell Miles that he's wrong and he can suffer more?
Exactly. Even the little tiny indignities, they add to his suffering.
Every little bit helps.
It's one of my favorite O'Brien lines coming up here. I'm going to invent something. Just give me a minute, okay?
Look, you guys insulted me earlier. Now I'm going to do something amazing.
Just watch. You think you're fucking with somebody here. You just watch. And yeah, Norman, yeah, that was some heavy-duty technobabble. And I know, I mean, the actors hate it, and I think Colm Meaney especially was not a huge fan of technobabble, and I'm sure that was a fun scene for him to get right.
Is it magnetometer or magnetomer?
Yeah, he said magnetometer, didn't he? Or no? Or did he say magnetomer?
He said magnetomer.
He said magnetomer. Well, I'm sure, however, O'Brien says it is right.
Oh, of course.
Because he's an engineer.
Obviously. $255.80 exactly. Richard Moore, exactly.
Oh, Radical Bacon, interesting. It's not actually technobabble. They use the right words. How about that? The science advisor did some work in this episode.
Yeah.
He did,
Thank you, science person, for sciencing us.
he didn't just bang his head against the wall. You know.
Loretta. I don't think the Opaka is going to shoot Kira.
No.
I don't have the wrong impression of you.
I have a fairly accurate impression. I think I've got you pretty well nailed, Kira. No
but I'm
offense.
only a minor operative.
Look, you're taking this minor operative thing way too hard.
Oh, that's a lie.
JH, the countdown is the time code on the show that we're watching. The final countdown. That's who I aspire to be.
I want to be.
Same joke.
No, I'm a violent person with a soul.
And I have a conscience. I can push it to the side whenever I need to.
When it's convenient.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Oh, she's doing the ear thing. Oh, she's pinching her ear really hard. You're making her cry, Opaka. You're pinching your ear too hard. Yes, corrosion. It's when my copy of Deep Space Nine will explode. Exactly. You really squeezed my ear really hard.
That's what it takes to be a major operative. It's a really hard ear squeezing, okay?
You can't take this. If you can't take this, how can you take the abuse you get on a sit?
Aw, her hair's all squidgy now.
Oh.
Oh, I saw that sucker coming.
Garrett, major operative right there.
Yeah. See, you don't have to repeat the computer.
Not when it talks.
Oh, says you.
Judgmental.
Oh, there's a beep.
Your differential magnetomer is differentiating.
That's no moon. Wait, actually it is. Radical bacon. Oh my. I mean, ooh.
They lit the tiki torches for the big powwow.
It's processing the data now. Wait, they just lit them. Why are they going to put them out?
They changed their minds.
Okay.
Well, pardon me. The Federation will do what I tell it, okay, Doctor?
I'm the commander.
Go aboard that Enterprise and smack Picard around. What do you think of that? Kind of a big deal.
Matters to me, okay? kind of fun, actually.
It has its moments. Caitlin, exactly. Cisco's like, I can make the Prime Directive work for this, so shut up. Kurosha, all Starfleet officers have to follow the Prime Directive. Look, they're just letting us crash at their place, okay?
They were closer. Suck it up.
It doesn't.
Bye, Charles. I hope you enjoy the
Bye,
rest
Charles.
of it.
Let them get me a throat lozenge to prove their honorable intentions. Okay, this isn't progress. He gets stabbed immediately. Yeah, yeah. Ooh, that was a nice one. Now you're cooking with Cisco.
No!
3, 2, 1, pause. And I am paused at 8:31 remaining. Yeah, 8:31 remaining. So,
Cool.
yeah. So, yeah, how about that? Apparently, they're not actually immortal.
Well, they're only immortal on the moon.
Ah.
It's the nanites. Duh.
Oh,
And
well,
then
so
when you leave the
yeah.
you leave the moon, the nanites don't work no more.
Lazy ass nanites. God.
Yeah. Well, it's
You
because
know?
of the fluctual horticultural flux.
The
Hysterical flux.
hysteresis curve.
Yeah, that sucker. See,
Which
exactly.
which
Totally
apparently
knew
is
what
a
I was
thing,
talking
is
about.
according to Radical Bacon, is apparently a thing. Or magnetomer is a thing. I mean, I know a magnetomer is a thing, but
It's how we end up with the next Kai with nanites.
yes, exactly. The next Kai is a nanite.
They just take the nanites from the old Kai and put them in the new Kai. There you
Yeah,
go.
it's just a, you know,
It's like Dax except nanites.
it's nanites, the little robots. Yeah, exactly.
Instead of a little slug, it's little robots. There you go.
Norman Bookwood says low tech Borg, but I mean, it's still pretty high tech. I mean, they're tiny little robots that can raise the dead. That's pretty high tech.
It's oh gosh, I'm getting sleepy. Holy smokes, it's only 7:20. Why
I
am I
know.
getting sleepy?
And do you have your family thing tonight at 8?
I don't think I do. Nobody
Okay.
said anything, so I'm just gonna be like, "Oops, nobody said anything. I'm not
Well,
doing the
then you
thing."
can
So
then
go to
maybe
bed.
you can go to bed.
I can hang around and talk to you guys, except I'm going to be like, okay, so that was fun. Good episode. Dead and robots, baby robots, tiny, tiny, tiny baby robots.
Caitlin L with some information here. Hysteresis curves are a thing for many different fields. For example, in switches, you can have hysteresis before the click that turns the light off, or whatever your switch does. Interesting. I did not know that.
Cool. That didn't make sense to me.
Radical Bacon
it's
says
still
it has
light out. Oh, I'm like getting to the point of aching. Has to do magnetic induction.
Magnetic induction. So that's
what induction is? That's when they make you a full member of the group. Of magnets.
Isn't it when you isn't it also when you come to a conclusion based on past events?
No, that's
inductive
deduction.
Reasoning. No, deduction deduction is based on
deductive and inferential. Inductive is not inductive.
There's no such thing as inductive reasoning.
I don't know.
I thought it was. I thought it's like inductive reasoning. It's like it rained yesterday, so it'll rain again today. Whereas deductive reasoning is it's wet on the ground, so it must have rained.
I thought it was inference.
I don't know.
I don't see. Garrett's agreeing with me. Inference. Thank you.
Well,
yeah, Loretta.
I guess I'm outvoted.
Yeah, it's 2-1, Steve. Loretta says that it's strange that they don't just enjoy their immortality. Well, I don't think they can. They're on a planet where there's nothing. It's boring. So honestly, they just fight for fun.
Yeah.
Because what else are they gonna do? And they never explain why these races say, oh. 2 households, both alike in dignity.
I see where you're going.
From ancient grudge breaks new mutiny, where not so civil hands make their blood make their unclean, and also the dirt from the planet. They're just unclean in general. They look pretty scrubby.
Yeah, they're not. Yeah.
From ancient grudge break to new mutiny, so they're just always fighting because.
And there's another line from Romeo and Juliet that applies to this episode. All are punished.
Yeah, there's probably more too.
They're probably Separate Geek has one. A plague on both your houses.
Your houses. He dies. That's true, but racial constructs are somewhat arbitrary. I mean, the whole racialization of this is what this race looks like, and this is what this race looks like. It's different in different cultures, which is
right. The collection of traits that we call a race is not necessarily the same from how we define it.
But at the same time, within that society, those conflicts aren't some kind of geeky ties. And what is my character's name? Mercutio. And the place name? Mercutio. I will play.
In Fair Major, where we lay our
Fair. It's no in ugly. First of all, they're not on Bajor. They're on Bajor. Some kind of.
But it's a better line the way Garrett says it.
Yeah, it's a bad thing. Yeah, being good at war and being good at war is not necessarily something to be ashamed of, because sometimes you do have to fight for a good cause, but enjoying it, enjoying a fight is different from enjoying a fight where you're going to kill somebody. Like wrestling. Wrestling is dangerous, and people get hurt, like honest to goodness hurt. And sometimes people die, but we don't celebrate like, yeah, he killed him. No, that's bad. That's bad.
Yes.
Okay.
But
alas, poor Garrick, I knew him well.
Oh, that's a good one.
Nice.
Totally different play. We're kind of doing Romeo and Juliet, but still.
And Romeo and Hamlet?
Romeo and Hamlet. Oh, now there's the crossover we need.
Flashback.
The depressed bachelor crossover of Shakespeare. Anyway, shall we dive back in
Let's
and
finish
finish
this
this
sucker
episode?
off.
And then if you're tired,
Yes,
we can wrap it up. And
probably a good
yeah,
idea.
alrighty.
I'm gonna try to stay up until at least 8.
Okay.
Gosh, it's still gonna be light out, and I'm so tired.
You need to
Such a
get.
long week.
Do you have a sleep mask?
A what?
A sleep mask, like to put over your eyes. So if it's not dark enough
Oh
in
no
the
no
room,
no no!
like
I have curtains.
okay, that
a-
works too.
It's all good. It feels weird. It's like it's like broad freaking daylight out.
Yeah. Well, yeah, because I mean, I don't know what when sunset is for you because of the curve of the Earth and such, but for sunset up here right now is
and
around,
because we're on freaking savings time.
yeah, oh, that's true too. Yeah, I mean, sunset around here is not for like almost another half an hour. So,
If I can make it 8, the sun will go down. There we go.
there you go. All right, everybody, get ready. We're gonna get back into this. Here, okay, I'll count us in from 3. Here we go. 3, 2, 1, play. Well, don't get fussy.
One of those
about it,
things.
Oh. I was going to say that.
Well, you didn't.
I was going to, though. I could. I mean, I knew that was the answer.
Sure. Mm. I told you so.
I'm working on it.
Her little prim.
Yeah, well, okay. Boy, God, turn off the fog machine, guys.
They paid for that fog machine. They are going to use it.
Damn it.
Well, they're all dead again.
Lazy body. Let's do it. Oh, this is a bummer.
$255 AD. Have you seen Hackers when they get so excited about the 56K modem? I love it so much.
Ah, the 90s.
Oh, they're like, I mean, even then, they had to know that's like, it was like one step up. You had
So here's the thing. You can never leave.
I've got good news and I've got bad news.
Which do you want first? The river?
But they're not our people. They're the wrong people. They're assholes. Look at them. All they do is like fight each other just like we do. But they're not our people.
I like some random geek's comment. Pope, you are wrong.
Even though you came back from the dead, you're still wrong. Wasn't he looking for Sandra Bullock? Dun dun dun. But yeah.
I hope so. Nope, sorry.
Well, you can die.
You could, yeah. I mean, do you want to die right now? You can come with me. Well, maybe this is the one. I love Bashir's reaction. Okay, we're gonna go now. So, bye. $800 megawatts. Suck it. Bye, Kai. Bye.
Swelling music.
Oh boy, this isn't gonna be fun.
255 AD. I think it was the eye roll that did it.
And that's it.
Dun, dun, dun.
End of show. So what'd you think of that one?
Oh, David C. Drake. Goodness gracious.
Pa humbug. Oh, that is nicely done.
Ouch.
That is nicely done.
I guess they can't starve. I guess maybe that's why they keep killing each other, so they don't have to worry about eating.
They just kill each other. All the attacks are staged at mealtime, so you know.
So you don't get hungry. You just get hungry enough. You get, and that's the reason for the fighting. They're all hangry.
And
that's what's behind all of it.
Richard Moore, yes, it is paid off eventually, sort of, yeah. The our pa will cross again, yeah.
Well, presumably. I mean,
yeah.
I mean, you don't say something like that without being able to back that up. I mean,
yeah, Garrett with a good Lower Decks reference there. The DS9 era Second Contact team will check in on her. That would be a fun episode. We're going to check on that planet where they're kept alive by nanites. Just see how Kyopak is doing.
I don't know. Probably not many. I mean, the probably once, give her some time to try to adjust with these people, but depending on how she's doing, they might be like, yeah, clearly you need more time, so we're just gonna let you have it, and we'll just we'll have our people contact your people.
I think it would have been funny if they would have gone back to the planet and Opaka was like had become a warlord and she had like ruthlessly subjugated the entire planet.
And they all obeyed her.
Yeah, and
That works.
she had like an animal skin cloak with like little skulls for the fasteners, and
How would that work, considering that nothing dies?
well, you can see how you skin it before it comes back. You before the nanites kick in, you're like, hurry up, just get the skin off of this thing. Well, yeah. So, you know,
I don't know if that works, dude. I don't think that works. You're trying though. You're making an effort,
well,
and I applaud that.
well,
Gold star for trying.
Thank you. That's all. That's all I ever wanted.
All
not,
you ever wanted. Yeah,
not,
ain't that the truth?
not true.
Not true.
Caitlin says, because they're talking about orbital mechanics. Caitlin said if Star Trek followed orbital mechanics, they wouldn't say all stop and we're stopped 2 seconds later. And when they say take us out the way we came, they might accidentally go through the planet. Yes. Well, it's because like all of the terminology that they use in terms of like how the ship moves is borrowed from the Navy and sailing ships. So, but yeah, and that's why they use the terminology that they use, and that's why ships in Star Trek move the way they move. But yeah, it's not realistic at all. I mean, it's Star Trek.
So 255 AD says, how do you think the people on Bajor are going to react to finding out they did this? And I'm just like, finding out they did what?
Exactly. I don't think it's ever, if I remember correctly, I don't know. It's never established like what if they told people in Bajor like exactly what happened, or if they just said, "Oh, the Kai, we had a crash and the Kai died." Because
sure ain't gonna be too happy about that.
It's
either.
A lot to explain. It's like, well, no, technically she's not dead, but
But she would be. So yeah. So or just say the Kai was called by the prophets.
There you go. Oh, perfect. Well, like Richard Moore kind of said that there. We left her in the temple. We have no idea what you mean. Abandoned on a war-torn planet. Whatever. I don't know. Did you do that? I didn't do that. No, that didn't happen. Who told you that? They're a liar.
255 AD asks, will kids who went through high school right now be disadvantaged compared to people who went through before or after the pandemic? No, I don't think so. I really don't think it's gonna, because you have, essentially you have a cohort. Like the people who are graduating now are presumably going to be going to college at roughly the same time within the next few years. I think there's going to be, I mean, we've had to make, I've had to make changes to my lesson plans this year to account for the fact that essentially, since we're on semester blocks, we had some students who lost half a course, and there were some I fortunately was able to talk to the teacher who, English 1, I got English 2, and say, okay, so and she's like, we didn't get to research. That just didn't happen. I'm like, okay, so we're starting there. And, I spent more time on it, and still it was really hard for them. And a number of my students are failing because they did not complete the research project and, had difficult time managing scholarly sources. It's very much a challenge for them, but at the same time, I know to account for that. So I don't think it's going to be a significant disadvantage. So no, I really don't, because it's just going to be different. Every group of students, has challenges, and different students are going to have different challenges. I don't think it's going to be much of a thing.
Yeah. 255 AD has another question. Says, one problem I always have with tech that can revive the dead. Shouldn't you lose all your memories if you were brain dead for like 2 hours?
Obviously, the nanites prevent that.
Yeah.
See, nanites.
Yeah.
Ta-da!
And also, it's whatever
the plot demands.
It's whatever the writer needs for the story. Yeah, I mean, a hell of a story with that premise. Like if a writer decided that that's the way it worked, you know.
Yeah, and it was it Memento?
That's right. Yeah, that was. Yeah,
I mean, that's effectively that plot
the
right
brain
there.
injury, and he has no short-term memory. Yeah.
Well, he has short-term memory. He just doesn't have the ability to transfer short-term to long-term memory.
Yeah, he just can't hold on to it for very long. Yeah. No, Radical Bacon is referring to Vedic Win. Adami is Win's second name. So.
Oh, okay.
And according to Bajaran naming tradition, their last name is the personal name, not the first name. So.
Yeah, David C. Drake. I figured they do like the Venom thing where it goes goes back together, like Venom and Spider-Man.
You know, I was wondering that too. Like if someone on that planet gets decapitated, then you throw the head like over a hillside. Does the head come back to life and the body comes back to life separately? And
no, it blorps together. Obviously,
but even if it's like from way far away, like if
the nanites bring it back together.
Okay, the
nanites animate it, but it doesn't actually come back to life until it's together.
It's like the end of the Iron Giant.
Yes, exactly. Yes. Very much so.
So there, see, it's heartwarming.
Superman.
Oh, God, you're going to make me cry.
Oh, you know that's what I live for, Steve.
Superman.
Make you sob like a little baby. Woohoo!
Yeah, you're really good at that.
See, there you go. Wolverine. See, if Wolverine can do it, the nanites can manage it. Yeah. I'm sure.
Wolverine doesn't even have nanites.
See?
He just has mutations. Yeah, and the Corey, for a little further up, Corey mentions one of my very favorite, like, inexplicable things from classic Star Trek, which is the time that Uhura had all of her memories wiped by a space probe, and it never came up again. And she didn't get her original memories back. They re-educated her.
Wow.
So she like
that's some good education. That's some good teaching.
Yeah. And it's like, it's never mentioned again. It's never explained. Like, did her memories eventually come back? Or is she like starting over from scratch in the next step? Like, it's never mentioned.
Steve, we don't talk about that. It makes her uncomfortable.
I love it so much.
It's out of respect for her. She's just not.
I love it so much.
So Radical Bacon, we need it. It's the King Solomon question, but with Wolverine.
Yes.
See, Wolverine had two moms, and they got mad at each other.
You get eventually like a full Wolverine will pop out of each half.
There you go.
Yeah.
It's like that's. They need to tell S.H.I.E.L.D. that's how you get your super soldiers. They're all really grumpy.
Just cut one of them in half.
And then just wait for it to grow back.
Wait. Yeah.
Exactly. You know, maybe put some like special healing goo on it to like, I mean, he's already got accelerated healing, but like give him some Neosporin to accelerate the acceleration. Give him some
This will help it. It'll heal faster. Just put some of this on.
The whole story of the boy who's like throwing the starfish and be like, it matters to this one. You give him some Neosporin. You're like, you can't give Neosporin to all the Wolverines who are cut in half. They feel like, well, it matters to this one.
I can give it to this one.
Oh my goodness. No, John Gingras, they because he's a mutant, he can grow the adamantium too.
No, but the adamantium isn't part of his mutation, though. So I think they might be right.
He says you. I mean, it totally could be if the writers decided to make it that.
That's absolutely right. All you would need for that is for a writer to come up with a single sentence of dialogue to put in somebody's mouth to explain how he regrew the adamantium. That's exactly. Because it's all made up.
Gasp!
It's all made up.
Even the shink.
Yes, yeah. Even the noise that the claws make. I've seen the movies. They don't sound like that. When he makes them come out real slow, they don't make any noise at all.
No, they go.
They go, or you hear the little like that, the gross little, like when it comes through his skin, it's like.
Should they just turn off the satellites without telling anybody? Be like, haha, surprise, happy birthday.
Yeah.
it gives
have a nice death.
Very, very different to the Alice in Wonderland song, a very merry unbirthday to you. A very merry unbirthday to you.
You. Some random geek solved it.
See, exactly.
I guess Wolverine's immune system copied the adamantium skeleton. Boom. There you go. You happy now, nerds? What are you going to say? You're going to say it doesn't work that way? How do you know? It's made up.
Became part of their DNA.
Yeah. It's like it works over the hell I say it works.
It's pronounced DNA. Shut up.
The DNA.
No, it's schnicked. There's an H in there. Schnicked.
Although I think we can all agree that Spidey's web shooters go thwip. that can bring us together.
Don't forget, they're we-twactable.
They're Wolverine's we-twactable quads.
But yeah, that's too violent. Oh my goodness gracious.
Wolverine has we-twactable quads.
And he became a goon. Gentlemen, we had a conversation about this. The top half or the bottom half? I want the top half.
Yes, the King Solomon argument. Yes, and Garrett, yes, exactly. I'm glad to see that we all know our Marvel Comics character centric or sound effects. Nightcrawler's teleportation sound is Bamf. That is correct.
See, if I was going to write it, I'd make it a little pop, like just like a little bop. And then the people will be like, "Really? That's your superpower?" He's like, "I teleport." They're like, "Yeah, but you sound like a bubble."
You sound like a bubble.
We would make fun of him. He's like, "I can teleport and beat the crap out of people." He's, "Yeah, but you sound like a bubble." Look, I'm the fanfic writer. I say what happens in my story. So there.
If you
also,
want to change
Damian
the sound
Wayne
effect,
never existed.
Yeah, well, we're right. We're on the same page with that, baby. We're on the same page with that.
All right. I'm sleepy.
Alrighty.
I'm gonna.
You need to start. You need to begin the process.
Take off the face. Hang up the sparklies. Well, actually, no. I put them in a little.
You're gonna.
I have a little toolbox that I use. Believe it or not.
You're gonna take your face off.
Yeah.
Just asking.
I will say for as much as that movie was incredibly cheesy, and I don't actually think Nicolas Cage is sexy.
But you think
that billowing trench coat.
Castor Troy is sexy, not Nicolas Cage.
No. The billowing trench coat in particular.
The trench coat is sexy.
That billowing trench coat, that shot is sexy.
Yeah. I can go along with that.
Oh, okay. Hurry up to 5580. Go. Oh.
One final gross question. Yeah, but while 25580 is typing the gross question in, I will remind everybody about the charity links.
Oh, yes, very important.
Charity links.
Thank you, Some Random Geek.
Yes, absolutely. Thank you, Some Random Geek. Thank you, Some Random Geek, for keeping that up. And
I'm so sleepy, you guys.
For anybody who is feeling generous and wants to help out our friends who need a helping hand, charitylinks.page. It's linked in the description. 255ID's question is, the female fighters, do women with regeneration powers have to deal with periods and their hymen regrowing forever?
See, that's really interesting because it regeneration. No, women would not have to deal with periods forever. They would still go through menstruation just because, Wolverine clearly, although I don't know, it depends on how the regeneration works. Like if you don't age, then obviously you wouldn't go through menopause.
Right.
But if the regeneration is just like healing, and you still age, then you would still go through menopause. As for the hymen regrowing, the hymen can grow in different ways. So it doesn't work the way that romance novels tell you that it does. Quite often, like, it doesn't, like, my fingers now, like, you could, one of the clearest ways to tell somebody's age is actually their hands, because we don't tend to take care of our hands the way we take care of our faces. And my hands now don't look like they did 10 or 20 years ago, but that doesn't mean that they are unhealthy. So if you have a hymen that is this particular way, and it's injured in some way, then it would grow back to the way it was before if there's no aging. However, it is a part of your body that can change over time, just like pretty much every other part of your body.
Yeah, and it seems like the nanites on that planet don't. I mean, those people clearly have scars. Like they're all messed. They're all beat the hell up from the fighting. So it brings them back to life, but it doesn't necessarily return them to like a pristine
State.
condition. Yeah.
Oh golly.
So anyway, would you like to remind the people about your YouTube channel?
I did want to radical bacon.
Oh,
Yes,
yeah.
I do. I do wear makeup. The biggest thing you can kind of see, I've got a little bit of eyeshadow on, but the one thing that I almost never am without is my brow liner, because I used to have brows that Steve would envy. But I had cancer and went through chemo a while ago, and my hair came back believe it or not, much thinner than it used to be. And so I have almost no eyebrows, and because it was such a change for me, I'm still not used to the way my face looks without eyebrows. It's pretty weird to me. So I put my eyebrows on every day. That's the one thing that like, if my students see me and they're just like, you look kind of funny, and I'm like, oh crap, I didn't do my brows. And then they're just like, oh, Mrs. Cole had a really rough morning, because that's like they know that, like, that's the thing. Like, it's almost I don't know if it's good lighting, but yeah, there's a little bit of eyeshadow. It's essentially, it was just like I put my brows on and then I'm like, oh, there's still some powder in the brush. That was it. So I didn't really make a whole lot of effort tonight. You can see that I'm a little shiny on the forehead. I didn't hit myself in the face with a powder sponge. Steve thinks it's hilarious when I do that. I'm like, I'm on the Zoom call. I'm like, all right, here we go. It's 5:58.
It's so adorable because you hold it with like just like two fingers, and it's just like it's adorable. But anyway,
and it's fun, it is fun. And then the other thing is, I don't like wearing makeup to school very often, because then it has to last the whole day. For this thing, it has to last a couple hours, and I don't do much. And then I just a bit. But like, if I wear eyeliner or eyeshadow or something, it always ends up under my eyes, and by the end of the school day, I look like I'm sick.
Yeah.
255 AD, I will say, I had breast cancer, and if you're going to get cancer, breast cancer is the way to go, especially with as much awareness as there is of it. If you can get it caught early, it's very treatable. And like cancer of the brain or the liver or the kidney, those are things that you need. Like,
and there are like pancreatic cancer is usually incredibly serious. I mean,
and also, a lot of it, like, they're out there, and so, like, you can feel like if something's different, you feel like that, hey, it's
easier to detect. It's
easier to detect. It's not like way on the inside of your body. And so, especially if something happens, like, by the time you start having like secondary or tertiary symptoms, like if you're fatigued all the time, or if you can't keep food down, then that's bad. That means that's bad.
It's really far along.
So I don't talk about my experience very often, because everybody's experience is going to be different, and mine was relatively mild. It was caught early, and so I'm okay as far as I know. I'm not even going to see my oncologist anymore, because last summer was 10 years out.
10 years,
Yep. So I'm done with it. There'll always be a part of me whenever I get sick or I don't feel well, it's like, but what if it's cancer come back? What if
Sure.
it's metastasized? You know, and
Sure.
I'm just like, brain, will you just not? Because if it has, it has. There's not anything I can do about it except, you know, pay attention. So
Yeah.
it is what it is.
Go to, yeah, exactly.
Radical bacon. Sometimes I like, if I'm just like, if I know that I want that I want my students to take it easy on me, I have not often, but occasionally put like eyeshadow under my eyes a little bit, especially if you can go with like a light purple. And then you put on like extra pale powder, and they're like, Mrs. Cole, you're going just like, just under the weather. We're gonna, you know, we're just gonna take it easy today. Okay, Mrs. Cole.
That's so great.
So
Let's do last question from 255 AD
yeah.
and then we'll wrap up. 255 AD asks both of us, Derek Chauvin is going to jail forever. I forgot to ask you how you felt about that. I feel pretty goddamn good about it.
Did we get a sentence?
I don't think there's been a sentence yet, no, but he's
Yeah.
Guilty on all
Yeah,
counts. So presumably it's going to be a pretty...
definitely glad about the guilty verdict. I was not hopeful, and I was sad about not being hopeful, and then I was very much relieved because I was I mean, like, we shouldn't have had to be nervous about it. It was just like so obvious. But so definitely relieved. I mean, I'm all for, you know, I live near Chattanooga, Tennessee. I'm like little podunk town. I live in Northwest Georgia, and Marjorie Taylor Greene is my congressional representative.
Not your fault.
I voted against her, you guys.
You
I
tried
totally
your best.
did. But as far as jail, I'm a prison abolitionist, but at the same time, you know, we have prisons, and I'm not particularly interested in starting with abolishing prisons with Derek Chauvin in particular. Right. So, you know, I'd rather start by, you know, I am an incrementalist, so I would rather start by, you know, letting, you know, providing support and transition for people who were convicted of nonviolent crimes.
Yeah, that's the obvious place to start.
Start there, and then move. Oh gosh.
Yeah, but yeah, I think it's. I mean, I think it's great. It's great news. It's a great outcome.
It'll be interesting to see what happens as a result, if anything.
Yeah, if anything, exactly. Because I was just going to say it's. I think unfortunately it's probably a case of you know, the stopped clock being right twice a day. Because I mean, just this one cop getting convicted is the justice system, especially when it comes to holding cops accountable, is still deeply fucked up and needs to be fixed. So, I mean, this is not evidence that everything is okay now and everything's working the way it's supposed to. It's no, we got this one, you know.
Yeah. Yeah, so, 255 a day, exactly. You know, if prisons exist, and just, yeah, there's just, we still have lots of problems to work on, but you know, it gives us purpose.
Yeah, there you go.
There we go.
And that's a nice note to end on.
I don't know, let's go for it.
Don't forget about Dana's YouTube channel. It's linked in the description as well. Watch her videos, subscribe to her channel, leave her comments.
Please leave me comments. I love comments, you guys. And I guess that's it.
And we'll be back on Friday for the last chapter of The Dispossessed.
Oh, crap. I got to read that.
Me too.
I totally forget. Usually I've got it read already.
Yeah.
You know, usually you don't have it read already.
That's
I usually do. I haven't.
Last time it was the first time that I waited until the day of the stream to actually read it. So hopefully I'll have time to read it tomorrow. But if not,
Fingers
I'll read
crossed.
it Friday. Yeah. But anyway, yeah. So Dana's going to bed.
It's sleepy time.
Thanks everybody for watching, and we'll see you next week for Firefly.
Woohoo!
Woohoo! Bye everybody.
Bye. Thanks again.